My first question for you is, if you were to go back to high school or college and you were to have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would tell your younger self?
Don't take shit off of nobody. Don't go to Vietnam like I did. That killed us. That's why I'm walking like I had a spinal surgery, a helicopter crash. So we were in combat. So I would tell her, get your education is first most. Two things, health and your education. Good health and education.
So did you serve in the Vietnam War?
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for your service.
That's why I'm walking limply because of my spine, helicopter crash.
Wow, that's amazing. I guess I'll ask you kind of a follow-up question to that. For someone who has fought in war, what was the greatest lesson that you learned about people during that time?
We would have needed a better representation from congressmen, from the senators, all the way up to the United States level, and it didn't happen. That's what happened with Vietnam. We won it, then they just gave it back up to to the Vietnamese, and they didn't know how to fight.
Yeah. And what was the greatest lesson that the military taught you from serving in the Marine Corps? What was the greatest lesson that you learned?
Serving the community is serving our country. That should have been first of all, God first and Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah. And helping out the community instead of shafting the community like they are right now with higher price apartments and everything, and lack of affordability.
Yeah. And just a few last questions for you, but what industry are you currently working in right now?
Right now, I can't work anymore. I'm a disabled Marine Corps Vietnam era veteran.
Yeah.
And would I do it, if I look back, would I do it again? Hell yes. We should have stayed there. We were winning it for the Vietnamese, South Vietnamese, and they gave it up. United States, Richard Nixon slapped them in the back and put the knife on their back, and never should have been there in the first place.
Okay.
Education first and foremost.
And I guess I'll ask you, from what you've seen throughout your lifetime, throughout your career, how can someone start their path to becoming financially free in 2023? What's the best financial advice that you have for the younger generation?
What I would tell people is this: try and get a trade or education in order to sustain your need for wealth, but also help out people also in the interim. But I will say this, a lot of people don't want to hear it: God and Jesus first and foremost, because that's what helped us out in Vietnam. And also, I'm a former IRS investigator, so that helped me out also. Still helping me. Crutches, I threw them away at home. And what I like to say is this: don't forget about God and Jesus, because God and Jesus is going to direct our path, but He wants you to know what path you're going to take so we can take corrective measures.
Yes.
And education. Education is
Absolutely.
very foremost, right after being Christians.
And are you an investor at all?
No, I'm a former IRS investigator, deputy sheriff, Travis County, ran for city council, judge, and mayor.
Wow.
And I'm from East Austin.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
sir.
you.